Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the series The Realities of Being a Christian Youth. So today we're going to talk about sex. Which aspect of sex actually? Well, we're going to talk about the lies most of us were told about sex. I have to hold on to my iPad because I don't want to miss my notes. So, what are these lies or this myth or whatever you might want to call it that we were told about sex? Well, our parents are actually, when we get to teenage, they get really worried, and one thing they will tell you is that sex is horrible, sex is very bad, but that's not true. What do I really mean? The real thing a parent should say is you should not have sex if you're not married. You can only have sex when you're married, because sex is more than just two people coming together and sleeping. Sex, it's spiritual, it's psychological, it's a lot of things. Sex involves the entire being, every part of you, everything. And that's the reason why it's hard for some people to detach themselves from somebody after a sexual encounter, because it's not just about sleeping together, let's just call it that, or lovemaking. It's about the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, psychological, everything together. And the right message parents should preach is sex is good, but it's only for married people. There's a way you can put it. I'm not yet a parent, so I wouldn't know how to go about it. But telling your child it isn't good and they wanting to find out if it's good or not is dangerous, because you tend to want to find out, like, okay, mommy said fire burns, okay, let me put my finger there and see if it really burns. And if it burns, okay. If it doesn't burn, I'm like, mommy was a liar, or mommy told me something that is not true. So it's better you tell your child the reality, like, it's good, but it's only for married people. And then the society now will tell you, what is this one saying? It's only for married people. This is what the Bible says. When you have sex when you're not married, it is called fornication or adultery. That is if two young people are doing it who are not married. Fornication. If you're doing it with someone's husband or someone's wife, it is adultery. It is not lovemaking, as we call it. Number 2, I was told that if I have sex, I'll be mature. I still don't get it, but I used to say, what do these people mean now? And it's interesting because you see people who've started having sex and they're still babies. Like, what do they mean? Do they mean that when I start having sex, I become quite loose mouth? Because that's the only thing I can call it. You are actually not so afraid of a lot of things because you are thinking you're okay. Like, what is it that the big deal that my parents used to make it a big deal? Like, it's when you sex is not good. So most of the time, people, the moment they have sex, they kind of have a loose mouth. They are very loose mouth. That's all I can say. Like, they can just talk anyhow. They are quite, like, in Creole will say drayai, don't drayai, if we're not taken, And also, in terms of maturity, you will see that someone who started having sex will not be comfortable with showing their bodies. So these are some of the things I think they are talking about, but the idea of being mature is still not so it's not really true, because there's a lot of things that comprise maturity. So I don't know which area people are talking about, but for me, those are the two things that I got clearly that they were trying to hit at, not the fact that I'll become, as in maybe smarter or something. Another thing I was told is it is not a sin, it is just love. You're expressing your love for somebody else. Darlings, to me and to you, when the Bible says something is a sin, it is not going to change. It is never going to change. It is stated there and it's a fact. It's a sin and it's a sin. We're not judging anybody. I'm not judging anybody. We've all fall short in this area, and most of the time we might want to cover it up and think, oh, it's because I was in love, I love this person, so we're like, it's not a big deal, it's just I'm expressing how much I love this person. But it is a sin. Sin. Matok and Pankrio. Sin, not sin. People will be like, it's how you see the colors. Black is black, white is white. But if you want to make it red in your mind, but sin is sin. And the idea that if love is involved, it's not a sin, it's not true. That's something that most of us took in school. Like, if you're in love, it is not a sin, because God is love. So you're in love and you're just doing something to express love. No, there are other ways you can show love, and having sex is not really one of them when you're not married. And when you're married, having sex with someone that's somebody else's wife or husband. So yes. Number 4, I was told that if I do not have sex, I will not get a man. Well, I'm not yet married, but in terms of this, it simply means you will not have a boyfriend, because the moment you tell them these are the things I can't do, and one of them is I can't have sex when I'm not married, when we're not married, the chances of that person staying might be really slim, depending on what is there for or the beliefs that the person has. So most of the time, most of us find it, like, especially if you're practicing celibacy, like some of us who are practicing celibacy will tend to not have someone that is interested. That's the other thing. You have to look for someone with the same belief. It's just normal that you have to go for a Christian that's truly understand what you're saying. And even between we Christians, we all have our struggles too. And the aspect of sex is a major struggle we all go through. Like, it's a struggle. The moment you start it, it's like something keeps telling you cannot stop. Who told you can't stop? You just have to continue doing it. So this is another thing that we are told you can't get a man. And as well as even men, a man will be told you can't get a woman, because there are some women who tell you, are you sick? Is something wrong with you? Are you gay or something? Because it's hard. Sorry, in the society that we're in now, that someone will be like, you're not okay, because what do you mean, like, you can't touch me or something like that? And yeah, so it's another thing that you're told you can't get a man. For me, I was told I can't get a man, and for a man, you obviously be told there's no woman that will be interested. Like, are you okay? Something wrong with you? And the last one, this is when you're actually in a relationship, or maybe someone asks you out, and you started talking to the person, you're like, oh yes, I like you very much, and then you drop the bomb, I am celibate, or I'm a virgin, I can't have sex. Then immediately the man says, you don't love me, because if you love me, you will trust me enough to give me this thing. I'm trying to make as if I'm a man now telling you, like, if you love me, why don't trust me? you don't love me, that's why you're saying this. Because if you love me, you will do this for me. Because you love me. It's true. That's how the, like, you hear this a lot, like, it's because you don't love me, that's why you are saying you can't have sex with me. And it's not true. There are other ways you can express love other than sex. I'm saying this again. I might want to sugarcoat it or make it look fancy, because I'm like, I don't want to judge anybody, because we're all struggling with one thing or another, as I always say. But the truth is, sex is a sin, and we have no business doing it, despite we do it. But it is a sin, and the moment you've realized that, and you've prayed to God, and you've determined in your heart that you don't want to do it, and then there comes someone that you will really like, we're human beings, you know, and the person tells you that, and you're trying to figure out, what should I do? And that's when we can easily just fall and be like, this, I just want to do this. And for every time you do it, you start feeling bad, you start crying, you start feeling dirty, because you now know. It's different when you don't know. And yes, these are the 5 main. Number 1, parents telling us sex is not good, instead of them really telling us that it's good, but it's not for you. You have no business doing it. Instead, they should just say, sex is good, but it's only for married people. You have no business indulging in sex when you're not married. Or any way they can put it that could be understandable to children, to your kid, especially when they're in teens and all. Number 2, I was told, another lie or myth is, when you have sex, you become mature. I've just spoken about that. Number 3, told that it's not a sin, it's expressing love. You're just expressing how much you love someone else. Number 4, you won't find a man or you won't find a woman if you refuse to have sex. And then number 5 says, if you don't do it, it means you do not love me. We hear that a lot. Like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this message, that most of the time you're told, it's because you don't love me, that's why you don't want to do this. If you love me, this is a sacrifice. You should make sacrifice for love. So these are the top 5 things I was told. I don't know what you guys were told, but I would love to hear from you. If these are the same experiences you had, or you were told something different, please share with us. Thank you very much for watching. I pray that God will help us in this Christian race, and let's continue to trust in Him fully. Please like this video, share and subscribe. Stay blessed.